Welcome back to my channel, you guys. I'm gonna do a reaction to DJ Vlad. DJ Envy asks Vlad how much he paid Tekashi 6ix9ine for an interview. Let's get to it.
All right, so it's DJ and we taking over Vlad TV. Now, this is the swap segment where I get to ask Vlad some questions.
Correct.
All right, Vlad. So you've been doing Vlad TV for how long now?
Since 2008.
Since 2008. So where do you see Vlad TV going in the next couple of years? And where do you want it to go?
We have a big deal in the works right now. I'm not going to say who it's with, what exactly it is, but in the coming months, there should be a big announcement about what the next level of Vlad TV is about to be.
Would that be television or their own network?
Could be a lot of stuff. I don't want to put it out there yet.
Could be a lot of stuff. It's crazy.
The early part of the deal is in place, but the big deal hasn't been announced yet. So once that's announced, and best believe I'll come by the Breakfast Club again and talk all about it. And it's going to be a pretty big deal. I'll tell you off camera what it is.
Now you also recently talked about the most money you ever spent for an interview.
Yes.
What was that number?
I don't want to say, but it was, I'll put it like this. It was more than Marlon Wayans asked for. So put that number together.
But I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
this is the second time I'm hearing Vlad say that live, like as in-person interview, not Twitter or anything else. He said that on a No Jumper interview too. Basically, what I'm getting to is he throwing that in Marlon Wayne's face. He's making Marlon Wayans feel some type of way at the same time. Like he's telling the truth or whatever the case may be, but at the same time, I can tell that he's trying to get under Marlon Wayne's skin. Like, you feel me? Because, if you go back and search, he's basically was saying that it wasn't worth Marlon Wayans to do an interview with him because as far as him paying Marlon Wayans the exact amount that Marlon Wayans was requesting. And if Marlon Wayans has a right to feel that way. If he feel like he's worth X amount for an interview, then hey, I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but if I had to guess, it's not really a guess. I'm trying to remember, but I'll just say guessing for now. I think Marlon Wayans asked for $50K, $50,000. So, yeah.
For the Tekashi 6ix9ine interview.
Tekashi 6ix9ine interview. All right. So was it $1 million?
No, it was not $1 million.
Okay. Just asking.
It's not
that's the first thing.
No in the world is worth $1 million.
So when you talk about paying an artist for an interview, does it
not just artists, all sorts of people.
All sorts of people.
Artists,
artists,
professional players,
interviews with
sports players, gangsters, a lot of people.
Do you ever get nervous or feel like it's muddy in the waters, right? And the reason I ask is now when Vlad reaches out to somebody to do an interview, the first thing that they possibly think is, well, how much can I get it for? Opposed to before where it was like, yeah, I would love to come on your platform because I think we can have a great conversation. Do you ever feel like that would be a problem, especially when you talk about them? But like before
he answered that, I feel like he shouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, it's just business. It's just the way of the game. Now Vlad do got a good platform and, you can get a lot of eyes, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, if you're in a certain position and you feel like you can help him recoup, because he's going to make a smart investment. He's not going to just interview not interview anybody, but pay anybody for an interview. It has to all make sense. And that's when we talk about business and not your feelings, or you feel like you worth this, or you feel like, sometimes that is valid. So I ain't going to say it like that. But if it's clear as day that you're not worth the amount, like, come on, bro. Like, just come on.
It was assumed that maybe Vlad paid somebody or maybe somebody else paid somebody to do an interview. But when you talk about it, it's like, does that money in the water make you feel nervous of getting artists?
No, because the majority of interviews we don't pay for. I'm not paying for this interview. I didn't get paid when I did Breakfast Club. I get paid to do certain interviews on certain platforms, but most times I don't get paid. So at the end of the day, it's not always that. But we're in an area where for the first time in history, there's so many interview platforms. You go back to 20 years ago, You had to either do radio or you do television, or that's it, right? There was no podcast. That wasn't a real thing. There wasn't all these media outlets and so forth. These days, think about, like, everyone we know has a podcast. Fat Joe and Jadakiss has a podcast. LeBron James has a podcast. Paul George has a podcast. Kiki Palmer has a podcast. Like, all the actors, everyone has podcasts. Like, all the comedians I know have their own podcasts. So you're competing against all these people. And when it comes to someone who actually has a big following or has a really crazy story, they can pick who they want to go to. So for some people, they're going to go to the biggest platform. For some people, they're going to go with whoever's going to give them the biggest check. So with us, we don't mind cutting a check because 99% of the time, those interviews end up being profitable. Every so often we'll lose money. Every so often things will go a little bit left. But we've almost made back our money off the Tekashi interview. We're only like a third of the way in. I'll probably double what I paid him at the end of the day. I was the only person to actually put that type of.
Again, it's business, because he just said I'll probably make double off of that. You feel me? You can go back to, I feel like you should pay me this because that's what I'm worth. Okay, cool. First, we talked about recoup. You're going to have to make sure you recoup it, right? Et cetera, et cetera. Now, let's just be real. We all know Vlad is a big platform, not a regular big platform. No, an actual, and I'm just talking about his platform. If we compare his platform to any artist, I'm gonna be like Drake. I'm gonna be like Drake, far as numbers wise. I mean, what's real is real. I mean, I'm talking about numbers. I'm talking about facts. So I'm not talking about him as a person. I'm not talking about this or that. This. We're just talking the facts. That's it.
Money out. It's really no different than booking someone for a show.
Exactly.
Today,
yeah.
Look, we have relationships with artists. There's lots of artists that will do a show for us for free. But if you have a hot artist and you don't really have a close relationship, you're gonna have to pay that person. And if that show makes money, everyone's happy.
Oh yeah, because I know what I was gonna say. I'm doing this reaction later, but I know what I was gonna say. When he mentioned that he was gonna make double, think about it like this: would Tekashi get the money without him, without doing that interview, or at least that fast? So it's like different ways you can look at it. You know what I'm saying? Everything is preference. So I can't tell you what to do. But just me breaking it down. I'm mainly just breaking it down for you guys. You feel me? So, but yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out. Also check the links in my description.
Just like that, just like that, throwing it back, she throwing it back, just like that, she throwing it back, just like that, she throwing it.
Chelsea, baby, send me a beat.
I always knew I can do this. Hold on, be quiet, don't say shit. I always knew I could do this. Hold on, be quiet, don't say shit. I always knew that I can do this. Hold on, wait, be quiet, don't say shit.